Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to create this animation in Blender using geometry nodes, as you guys can see. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So we are going to start with the plane. So press Shift plus A and add a plane. Then open a new window of geometry nodes. Click on this new button to start. Then I am just going to delete this group input and add a grid instead of it and plug it into the output section. Now increase the resolution of it, then add a separate geometry node. Change the domain type to faces because we need to separate the faces from it. So then add a gradient texture and plug the color into this selection section of our separate geometry node. Then come here and change the gradient type to spherical. Then just come here and increase the size to something like this. Then come here and scale this plane up. Then duplicate this separate geometry node and then add a color ramp node, and plug the color into the selection section of our separate geometry nodes. Then plug the gradient into this color ramp, just like this. So now just come here, click on this icon, then click on this flip color ramp, and this will flip the colors. So now if you bring the black bring the black value closer to white one, you guys can see we are getting a hole here, as you guys can see. So just scale this up, and I am good with something like this. Yes, it's good. So now we want, if you can see in my original, you guys can see it's cubes. So we can add a cube. So press Shift plus A and add a cube. Then add a instance on points node. Place it after the separate geometry nodes. Then come here to this outliner and drag and drop the cube into this geometry node tree. Plug the geometry into instance, then add a random value node and plug it into this scale section of our instance on points node. Now just decrease the maximum value and hold shift to make it slower. And I am going with 0.04. If you guys want cubes like this, then you guys can go for 0.02 or 0.01, but for this I am going with 0.04. so now just select it and duplicate it. So if press Alt D to duplicate linked, then come here to this material properties, add a new material. So you guys can give any material that you guys want. I am going with a metallic, so set the metallic value to 1. Then come here to geometry nodes editor and add a set material node after the instance on points node and select the material here. So now if you guys select this as well, you guys can see we already have our set material node in this plane as well. That's why Alt D works best, because everything we change on this one, it will automatically applied on this one. That's why I always use linked when I need to duplicate objects, because it's easier to change one and all others will be changed. Then press Shift plus A and add a icosphere. Then come here to modifiers tab and add a wireframe modifier. Then increase the thickness to your likings. Then we are going to add a bevel modifier which will create this cool shape. So then scale this icosphere up something like this and place it here in the center. Let me just move it down a little bit, this one as well. Yeah, that's cool. So now just add another icosphere and or just duplicate this one, duplicate it and reduce the thickness value to something like this. Then scale it up around here. Then just duplicate this icosphere again and remove all these modifiers. Then scale this icosphere down to something around here and add a subdivision surface modifier. Then set the level to 2. Then right click and shade smooth. Apply the subdivision surface modifier if you guys want. So now come here to material properties, add a new material and change the surface to emission instead of principled BHDF because we want it to glow. Set the color, I am going with a red one. Then increase the strength. Then come here to our compositing workspace. Then click on this use nodes. Now add a glare node here and set the glare type to bloom instead of streaks, and we are done. Then come to layout. Now just come here to render engine. You guys can use Eevee as well, but I am going with cycles. Then go into rendered mode. Then click on this icon and in the compositor section make sure to click on always so we can see the compositing as well. So now just come here and change it to shader editor. Okay, so now just add a color ramp node, then a layer weight node, this one. Plug the facing into this color ramp, then plug the color into this color section, but before doing that click on this, then copy the hex code. Then now we can plug it here. Then just click on this white one and change the color. Then play with this color ramp to get your look. If I can go into material preview, I can show you guys. It's creating a new icosphere. It's like creating a new sphere inside it. If you guys can see here, if I just increase the black value, we can see it clearly. So I am going with here. Then so now just select these cubes and come to this material. Set the base color to a dark gray color, something like this. It will work, I think. Yes. Now if you guys want, some of these will glow like in my own example. If I go You guys can see some of these are glowing. So to make this, we can just add a color ramp node and a noise texture node. Plug the FAC value into this color ramp, then plug the color ramp into this color section of our emission shader. Same like before, set the color to red or something like that you guys want. I'm going with a red color. So then just play with these. After that, add a mapping node and plug the vector into this vector section of our noise texture node. Then we can add a object info node, object info, and plug the random into this vector section of our mapping node. Now when we increase or decrease these values, we can see slightly change in these cubes. So set the detail to 12, bring the scale down a little bit. So I am going with 20. Then come here to strength and increase the strength value, not that much. Then just do this, play with this color ramp to get your desired look. It will control how many will glow. I am going with these. Yes, this is okay. And now we can set up our camera. So press Shift plus A and add a circle, move it up, and then add a camera and a empty. Select your camera and come to constraint tab and add a follow path constraint. Set the target to our circle, this one. Now just select the circle and scale it up. Now you guys can see our camera is here on this circle here. Now if you want to make our camera to face it here on our main object, so just select the empty and move it up if needed. Place it at the center of our main object. Then select your camera, add another constraint named track to, and select that empty now. Now if even you move the camera, we can see it's tracking onto that empty. So yes, then come to frame number 1 and add a keyframe on this offset value. Press right click, add a keyframe, or just press I. Then click on this icon to go at last frame. Then set the offset to 100 because 100 is like a 360. Then add another keyframe. Now if you press play, we can see our camera is rotating. So then just come to object data properties and decrease the focal length to something like this, or maybe more. Move the empty up a little bit if you guys want, and let me just move this closer. Yes, okay. So now we can add material to this as well if you guys want, or I am going with a metallic color, something like this. Add that same material on this as well. So now just press Shift plus A and add a area light. Place it above your object, scale it up slightly and increase the power. Then go into rendered mode. Then click on color and select any color that you guys want. I am going with a slightly red color. Then come to world properties and set the color to full black. Then come to volume and click on this icon, then select principled volume, this one. Then decrease the density to around 0.1. I am going with a density of 0.1. Now if you guys want, you can duplicate this area light and place it at the bottom of your main object. So yeah, that was it for today's video. If you guys have learned something, make sure to hit that like button. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.